Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchimo, and on this channel, I talk about cake business. This is your cake business school where I teach you tips and strategies on how to grow a thriving cake business. I'm a cake artist that is based in Swindon, the United Kingdom. And if you've seen my beautiful face for the first time, you're most welcome to my channel. Please don't make it your last. Become a part of the family by clicking on the subscribe button and joining us. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is very interesting. I've made three videos already in this series. So this is the fifth in the series because I've made videos about vanilla, red velvet, chocolate, and fruitcake, how to achieve the best bakes for this cake flavors. Now we're going to be talking about coconut cake in today's video. Now, I'm not talking about coconut cake that is derived from vanilla. No, I'm talking about standalone coconut cake, how to get the best of the best coconut cake. So if there's something you're interested in, you know how we do it. Get something to eat, drink, relax, and I'll be right back. You're welcome back. So let's get down to business, and I'm going to be sharing what you need to know if you're going to get the best of the best coconut cake, like milky, creamy tasting coconut cake. So the first thing is, I know it sounds cliche, but I'm going to talk about it because that's the foundation to every good bake. Every good cake is starting with beating your butter and sugar until it's light and fluffy. This is not a process that you need to rush. And when it comes to this point, I like to work with the look, the consistency rather than the timing, because I know that our mixers, different brands have different capacities and how much they can work. So I can't say beat for 15 minutes, because if I beat for 15 minutes and get a certain result, you might beat for 15 minutes with your type of mixer and not get the same results. So the results differ basically. And that's why I like to talk about the consistency when it comes to achieving that fluffiness you need. So the first thing is to look out for the volume. That is the quantity. When you beat your butter and sugar and it's fluffy and it's good to go, you'll find out that it has doubled in size and it's no longer that small butter and sugar that you had in your mixing bowl. Like, it will be fluffy, it will come up, it will have some volume, it will have some body. And the second thing is the color. The butter changes from mustard yellow or yellow to light. It changes to cream. I don't want to say a light shade of yellow, it changes to cream. So you see that there's that change of color, and it shows you that, all right, this is done and we're ready to go. Another thing is that you'll not feel the grittiness of the sugar anymore. It will be greatly reduced. You'll still feel it a little bit, but not so much. And then the third thing, or the fourth thing, which is the major point, is that it changes from being hard, being dense, to a light, airy texture, like it's almost weightless. Now, these are the things you should be looking for, which is under the first point. Beat your butter and sugar until it is light and fluffy. Now, the second thing, which is a mistake that I see people make, even people that I've taught and trained, is that they come back and say, oh, the texture was like this. It tasted great, but the texture was like this. If you're that type of person, if you're that baker who has tried coconut cake and you have an issue with the texture, you probably need to be checking this. Don't use sweetened coconut flakes. Rather, use desiccated coconut. That is what you should be using. The sweetened coconut cakes has moisture in it. It also has more sugar added to it because of the processing. Now, you do not want to add this to your recipe because it's going to affect the texture and also affect the taste. And you're going to end up with a crumbly, falling, sunken cake most times, or sometimes in the middle. Now, this is what I advise you to use. Use the desiccated coconut cake that has been processed, dried. It has no water. It has no taste. It even tasteless. So there's no sugar in it. There's no water in it. Even if there is, it's been processed and dried thoroughly. And by that, this is what I mean. This is it. So you have your desiccated coconut cake. It is dry. There's no water in it at all, and there's no taste and there's no sugar. This is what you should be using to have a great textured coconut cake and a flavorful one as well. So please, I know you want to use the flakes and you want that variety, that spice, but you should be using the right ingredients. The dry one is what you should be using, not the wet, sweetened one, not the coconut flakes. You can use that as toppings on your batter. I've done that a few times. You can use it as toppings on your batter, but don't put it in your batter and bake with it, because it will affect the texture of your cake. Now, the third thing I'm going to be talking about is the flavor. Oh my goodness. I work with a particular brand of coconut cake flavor that is amazing, and it just gives that distinct, full, nutty, coconutty flavor. So if you're using vanilla, you want to swap and try using coconut flavor, like coconut flavor itself. If you want to pair, it's all well and good, it's nice, but make sure that you're pairing nice. I have a video that I'm going to link for you if you want to learn how to pair flavors to get amazing, great tastes for your cake. So, but what I do is just to use coconut flavor for my cakes. Now, different recipes call for different things, but I'm just sharing what has worked for me and the secret to my cakes. I can boast and I can beat my chest and brag about my coconut cake recipe. It is amazing, great tasting, great texture. So this is one thing that I've learned and I've practiced over the years. Over the years, I'm telling you, over 10 years, and it has worked greatly for me. So you want to try it out. Use coconut flavor rather than just using vanilla as a standalone flavor for your coconut cakes. It really helps the taste. Believe me. Now, the fourth thing is the liquid content that you use in your coconut cake. What type of liquid content are you using? Are you just using water? Are you not using any liquid? Or are you using a mix of the two things that I'm going to be talking about now? So it's either you're using these two liquids, the liquid components, which is buttermilk, or your coconut milk. So you can get coconut milk, store-bought coconut milk. I prefer it because it's already been taken care of and it's just easy to use. So it's either you use coconut milk or coconut cream, or you use your buttermilk. I have not tried using both of them in one recipe before because I feel that it's going to just alter everything and it's just going to make it too moist. It's going to affect the texture because it's just going to be too much, except you understand the science of baking and you can pair them nice, pair them right, come up with your own recipe that combines the two. But for me, so far, so good. It is either I'm using buttermilk or I'm using coconut milk to help me enhance that great flavor. Now, people make the mistake of using coconut oil. So they use a lot of different things. So they want to try coconut oil, coconut milk, this, and milk. You're just going to end up with an imbalance in your recipe that is going to affect your cakes. It'll take a while to get done. The texture is not going to be great. It's not going to be fab. So these are some of the things that you want to be looking at and considering when using your liquid components. I use this. Of course, it's not a sponsored video, so I can't mention the name of the brand, but it's a nice one. I've tried it and it works really nice. Buttermilk, you can also prepare. I have a video on how to make buttermilk, which I'm going to link for you as well. Or you can get the store-bought one. Yes, we have store-bought buttermilk here, but back home in Nigeria, it wasn't a thing. So I used to prepare my own anytime that I wanted to use buttermilk for my cakes or use a baker cake that has a buttermilk in it. This is one thing that I feel you should know. Make sure that you're using the right liquid and you're using it well. Using oil, using coconut cream, or using just the extracted oil or the one that you do or process by yourself, the coconut milk you process by yourself, it will still have oil in it. And it's not going to be good because you have butter, you already have a fat component in your cake. So please be wise in your using of all of these ingredients and understand how it works before you throw everything into your cake because you do not want to expend too much effort and at the end of the day you do not get something that is nice. So do the right thing, bake right. Okay. Now the fourth or the fifth thing, I think I've lost count, is going to be the baking. I have stumbled on a fantastic way to bake my cakes and I have such amazing, amazing results. As you can see, my cakes come out fine, they come out fab. They come out nice. They come out no burnt. I can't remember when last I had a burnt cake. Okay, I think I can remember. That was in Manchester. I baked a cake that was not my recipe. And I think another time I baked a coconut cake and I did not use, no, I can't remember exactly, but I know not too long ago I was in Manchester. So that was like months ago, sometime last year. So I baked and my cakes got burned. But it's a thing of the past. I do not bake burnt cakes anymore because I slow bake, I slow cook, and I have made videos on what works for me now. I mean, that's not a secret. That's not something that I hoard. So I share with you. But the thing is, it's important for you to understand your own oven and how it works for you because it works for me does not mean that it will work for you. But it's a tip that I put out there for you to understand that you need to understand your oven and you need to know how it works for you and how it works for your different cakes. So please slow cook. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a hurry. Formerly, I used to bake at 300, 350 degrees centigrade. But since I moved to the UK, Fahrenheit. So formerly I used to bake with 300, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. But since I moved to the UK, now it is centigrade and I have reduced it. I bake between 140, 130, 140. Before it used to be like 160, 170. But I further reduced it and I allow my cakes the time to cook. So it bakes evenly and I use the fan function. So it blows it well, it distributes the heat evenly, and it takes time to cook and rise well. So I do not have issues with baking my cakes at all. Now, these are the secrets that I want to share with you about having a fab, fantastic, great tasting, and nicely textured coconut cake. If you try these things, I bet you're going to love it and you're going to thank me later. So that is what I want to share. Make sure that you're using fresh ingredients as well. Of course, this is a no-brainer. Thank you so very much for watching. If you watched up to this point, you are the real MVP. Please drop me flavorful or insightful down in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button and also to subscribe to my channel. If you want to be of support to my channel, click the super thanks right below this video and make a contribution or a donation, and that would be highly appreciated. Thank you so very much for watching. I love you and I appreciate you for your support. Until I see you in my next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed. If you have questions, leave them down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you very much. God bless.